Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Heaven Hill Farm, Highland General Store, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, and Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Hi, I'm Shannon Sweeney. I've been a player or coach for most of my life, and I understand the need to keep our kids motivated and safe. As a parent and coach, I also understand the need to make sure our children are protected. That's why insurance is as an important part of the game as a good coach is. I've known my fellow coach, Wayne Dietz, for 10 years. I've seen him motivate and inspire players both on and off the floor. I've also seen him make sure that our children are safe by making sure that the teams are properly insured. As a coach, we don't often think about insurance, and when you work with Wayne and his team at D&H Risk Solutions, you won't have to. They take care of everything with honesty and integrity so that you can focus on what you do best, coaching your team to victory.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Good evening and welcome to Vernon Vibes. The fall air is about us. The trees are turning colors, and what a beautiful sight it is as we move around Vernon. And I'd be remiss if I didn't call it out. We are so blessed to live in Vernon Township in Sussex County, one of the most beautiful spots in the world, and this is one of the times of the year that I just love the best, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do. I'd like to start off this evening, as I often do, with our community calendar, and so let's get right to it because there are quite a few important things that I want to talk to you about. First and foremost, Saturday, October the 19th, is our first time free bulky waste township-wide disposal. If you have in your home or on your property bulky waste that you want to dispose of, in the past, by bringing it to the recycling center on a specific date, you were charged $20 or end up, depending on what you were disposing. This year, because of the success of our recycling project and also with the concurrence of the Vernon Township Council, we are providing to the residents free bulky waste disposal. That'll take place Saturday, October the 19th, from 10 a.m. in the morning till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Bring your bulky waste to our recycling center on Riggs Way and help clean up your property and keep Vernon clean also. Secondly, I want to remind you of a date that I spoke to you about in our last session, which is November the 3rd. And November the 3rd at 2 p.m., save that date because it is Sussex County's 13th annual salute to the military veterans. That salute will be held at the Sussex County Fairgrounds. That's a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. And that particular ceremony is sponsored by the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Sussex County Department of Human Services, Sussex County Division of Senior Services, Sussex County Veterans Committee. There will be exhibits, a parade, Veterans Mobile Health Unit, entertainment, complimentary refreshments. So let's all gather out there on the 3rd at 2 p.m. and honor our military veterans, those who have served us and helped to keep us safe. I also want to call your attention to the free rabies clinic. Vernon Township, as you well know, every year holds 2 rabies clinics. The fall clinic this year is on Saturday, November 9th. It will be held from 10 a.m. in the morning till 1 p.m. and it'll be held at the Township DPW garage on Riggs Way and Church Street. And for those of you who are uninitiated, in order to license your pet in this township, you must provide proof that your pet has had rabies shots. And without trying to scare anyone, with the incidents of rabies that have been turning up around the county, I think it would behoove you as well as everyone else to see to it that your pet has a rabies shot, and certainly being able to get it for free is a benefit. So come on out on November the 9th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Township Garage, the Vernon Animal Control Center, and volunteers will be there. And when you come, bring prior rabies certificates and dog licenses or cat licenses if you have them, if they're available. If not, come on by anyway. Let's get our animals inoculated. In addition, I'd like to speak to you about a program that's going on countywide called Got Drugs. One of the things that we have learned in our attempt to address the scourge of drug addiction in our communities is that oftentimes young people find themselves addicted to prescription medication that they may have gotten from a family member, or they may have taken from a medicine cabinet at home. And so the disposal of unwanted prescription medication and OTC drugs is a very, very critical issue. Now, the rest of the counties are having disposal days. Here in Vernon Township, earlier this year, we placed a disposal unit in the lobby of the Vernon Township Police Department, and you can bring your unwanted prescription drugs or OTC drugs, outdated, or any that you feel you want to keep out of the reach of unsuspecting hands, or for that matter, young people who might want to be experimenting. Bring them to the police department, put them in the disposal unit, no questions asked, no one is concerned about it. It's been working very, very well, and we're proud to tell you that we're one of the few communities in Sussex County that offers this service 24/7 in the security of our police department here in the municipal building on Church Street. And last, I'd like to bring to your attention a call for people who are interested in the historic preservation of Vernon Township. Our Historic Preservation Commission is in need of volunteers. We recently have lost some members due to situations beyond their control, people who have served the Historic Commission for a very long time. It's a very important part of our municipal government in that it identifies those areas and those buildings and those properties in the township that warrant identification as historic sites. So if you have an interest in helping to preserve Vernon's history, you can go to the Vernon Township website at vernontwp.com, and you will see a link there that will take you to the Historic Preservation Commission. That'll tell you what it's about and how to go about getting involved if you're interested. When we come back, we're going to have the opportunity for you to have a few moments to speak with our Council President, Mr. Pat Rizzuto. So we'll be back in just a minute, and I know that you'll look forward to his comments.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Heaven Hill Farm, Highland General Store, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, and Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Good evening, friends. First, I'd like to thank the mayor for allowing me the opportunity to use his desk to say hello to you and to kind of bring you up to date as to what's going on with myself and my two fellow council members who are running for re-election. Oh, yes, it's that time of year again, and I'm coming to you to ask you for your support for myself and for Dick Wetzel and Eddie Dunn. And I want to tell you that I'm very happy that I can do this and come to you and say not with all of the things that the council has achieved over the last 2.5 years, but to simply open it up and say that I'm happy that we have been able to keep faith with the people. I know in this age of promises from politicians, and I really don't think of myself as a politician, that so many people say something and seem to forget about it once they're elected. Well, I remember when myself and Eddie and Dick were running, we pledged not to raise taxes. And I'm proud to be able to tell you that in the 2 years that we have been on the council working with the mayor, we have been able not to raise taxes, but to actually reduce them in the past 2 years. And we are one of the few, as a matter of fact, I think we're the only township in the state of New Jersey that has been able to reduce municipal taxes during that period of time. I consider it a major achievement, but we didn't stop there. I think as a council, we worked again with the mayor as he prepared his budgets, and we were able to add to our fund balance. That's our savings account. Just like you have a savings account, so do we. And that rainy day savings account, should anything happen, we've been able to increase to over $1 million. And the area that people say that previous councils were too liberal in terms of their borrowing, well, we've been able to pay down over $3 million in debt. And this pay down continues on a regular basis. During this time, the township has grown. Over $30 million in new ratables has been added to the tax rolls, and these are commercial ratables. These are the ratables that keep on giving year in and year out in terms of supporting the township with revenues. If this township is going to grow, it's going to have to grow not on the backs of the residential homeowner, but on new commercial ratables. This is going to be able to spread that load a little bit wider over the community. One of the things we're also very proud of is that we were able to bring in all of our road projects in or under budget. And during this time, again, working with the mayor presented a schedule to improve and maintain our secondary and tertiary roads over the next 5 years. Literally, we can tell you within the year what road is going to be repaired and about when. So I think these are some fantastic achievements as a township, for our township rather, by our council. And we're looking forward to working again on your behalf as we enter into our next term in office. That is, provided you, the people of Vernon, are willing to come out and support us at the polls. We think we've done a good job for you. We want to continue, and we ask for your support. Thank you very much.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Heaven Hill Farm, Highland General Store, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, and Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. I want to thank Council President Rizzuto for his comments. I hope that you found them informative. I've spoken to you on many, many occasions over the past 2 years on Vernon Vibes about the things that we have accomplished together, the council and this office. Despite what our political adversaries would have you believe, this is a council that does its homework, comes prepared, and actually carries on its business in a professional way that we all can be proud of. I've read the letters. You know, the mayor leads these men around by their nose and the other persnickety comments that get made by these people. None of that is so. The difference is this. We have a very different form of government as a result, by the way, of our political adversaries who thought that when you voted the new government in, just they were entitled to be the elected officials. Apparently you had enough wisdom not to do that. Because to be very frank with you, they are right about several things. There's a tremendous amount of power seated in this chair. And should this township elect someone of the caliber of the former mayor, we could be in deep trouble. Someone whose real agenda is more personally motivated than in the best interest of this township. What am I talking about? I could go through the last 2.5 years and point out every single article that you have read in the New Jersey Herald that was brought to you by the former mayor, and you would see that the cost of running this government was driven beyond your wildest imagination by her antics. From the cost of Oprah requests, claiming that we're not transparent. This government has never been more transparent, either at the council level or in the mayor's office, including her administration. And yet, every single meeting, every single contract, every single action by this government has been requested under Oprah by either Mrs. Rinker or Mrs. Murphy or Mrs. Van Gorder or Mrs. Ooms. Do those names sound familiar to you? Oh, I left one out. Mrs. Rubin. They're the ones who write all the letters to the editor, okay? And why? Because they have a political agenda. And their agenda is to get back into power. Have you heard them offer one idea about what should be done differently in terms of the services and in terms of the things that this government has provided over the last 2.5 years? The answer is no. Obviously not. All we've heard is criticism and caterwauling. And I would just simply say to you at this point in time, this is political season. I know there are many out there who may not agree with the decisions that I have made as your mayor, but I don't make an apology for them. As a matter of fact, when I mentioned the costs, we have in fact used over 3,000 man-hours answering the Oprah requests. We have in fact had to do several things, one of which was to provide a lifelock, because when Mrs. Rinker received one of her Oprahs and it wasn't redacted electronically properly, the first thing she did was call the newspaper, call the union presidents to declare that she had their Social Security numbers and was sharing it with the newspaper and with other people, as we found subsequently. And so when the lawsuit that was filed by this government to get a restraining order to keep that information from being disseminated actually came to its final conclusion, the court ruled that they had to destroy. They, Rinker, Ooms, Van Gorder, had to destroy what they had received and certify that they would not disseminate it to anyone else. You didn't read about that in the paper because that doesn't really match the agenda of the New Jersey Herald reporter. But nonetheless, that one incident is costing the taxpayers of this government $100,000 over the next 5 years to protect the identities of 119 employees. I could go on. I could go on as to the fact that this Friday, we will be in court in front of Judge Wiesenbeck in a lawsuit filed by Mrs. Rinker and Mrs. Van Gorder to overturn the merit bonuses that were paid to our employees and to overturn the statutory raises that were required and given to the employees of this township that they, the previous administration, had taxed you for and never paid. That lawsuit, the lawsuit concerning the Social Security numbers, the lawsuit concerning the laying off of the fire officials. When you add all those numbers up, ladies and gentlemen, the cost of Mrs. Rinker and her associates' objection to the manner in which we've done our business more than offset, 5 times more than offset, the amount of money that this mayor paid in merit bonuses to employees. You think about that. And let me give you something else to think about. In all of that, your taxes went down. Your cash surplus went up. The debt of this community for operational purposes was paid down. This government has done exactly what it said it was going to do, and I'd be more than happy to meet any one of those candidates anywhere for a public debate, because what they've been feeding you for 2 years are half-truths, misrepresentations, and things motivated to make you think that there's something wrong going on in your government. Nothing could be farther than the truth. I'll be back in a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Heaven Hill Farm, Highland General Store, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, and Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. There are some things that are happening in a very positive way here in town, and I just want to take a few minutes to speak to you about them. Number one, you will recall that not too long ago, the principals of Mountain Creek were before the Vernon Township Council asking for cooperation in the redevelopment zone with what is called a pilot bond. At that time, the town council directed me to begin the due diligence and to do the research, and I can assure you that in the not too distant future, we will be holding a work session. I will be presenting to the town council the information that I have been able to glean from several sources, including the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, including several attorneys who are very, very experienced in these matters, and as well financiers who we've talked to in terms of any possibility for potential on the part of the community. At this point in time, should the program be structured the way that was proposed, there is no guarantee of the bond by Vernon, nor is there any further potential for a loss being hung on our door. That doesn't mean that all the questions are answered, but I just want you to know that we are addressing it and we are moving forward. Secondly, there still seems to be some confusion amongst our seniors caused by an ad run, again, by our political adversaries, leading them to believe that senior housing in the town center is not going to happen. And that's not true. That's just not true. We are on schedule, as are the principals on schedule, to seek the necessary financing from the federal and the state government. The fact that New Jersey's state government is in an unbelievable legal battle over the cost of affordable housing and the authority of that commission is certainly holding things up to a certain degree, but there is no doubt in my mind, nor in the minds of the people who are committed to build the senior housing that in Vernon on Theta Drive, that it will be senior affordable housing. It'll be 55 units, and it's a shame that there are people who would confuse our seniors and mislead them for political purposes. I am telling you, as your mayor, that that is going to happen. Lastly, today's newspaper carried an article about transfer of development rights. You're going to hear me talk much more about it, but in its simplest form, it is a manner to reimburse our landholders and farmers whose value was stolen from them by the Highlands Act. This Thursday evening, the Highlands Preservation Council will be voting on granting us or making a grant to Vernon Township to explore the transfer of development rights within Vernon Township. It's exciting. It holds out the possibility for our farmers and large landholders to be recompensated for the value of their land that was stolen by this act. Stay tuned. I'm going to be talking to you a whole lot more about it in the future. I'll be right back.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Heaven Hill Farm, Highland General Store, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, and Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. I want to share with you that I had the honor of being invited to Drumthwack at the Governor's Mansion in Princeton, New Jersey, to join with 35 mayors from around the state of New Jersey for a discussion and a think tank experience with our governor, Chris Christie. I have to tell you that I always come away from my exposure to the governor energized and enthusiastic. And that's not necessarily because I agree with everything that he says or that he does, although I'm very pleased with most of the accomplishments. And I can say clearly that much of the achievements that we've been able to accomplish here in Vernon Township really relate to the things that Governor Christie has done on a bipartisan basis. And he truly has. You have to remember that the legislature in Trenton is dominated by Democrats, as is the registration in this state. And that's really one of the things that I want to talk to you about. There are so many people who are saying, you know, this upcoming election is not that important because look at the polls. Governor Christie is so far ahead of his opponent, I don't really need to go out and vote. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what the governor's opponents are hoping you're thinking. And I would like to share some statistics with you that I think will drive home just how important it is for those supporters of Governor Christie and his agenda and the conservative Republican agenda in this state, just how important it is for all of us to go to the polls and vote. In 2009, Governor Christie carried 89% of the Republican registered voters. He carried 61% of the independent or non-affiliated voters and 30% of the Democrats, and still only won that race by 4 points. It is critical that we all go out to vote. And I'm asking you now to please make that commitment. Circle November 5th. If you can't be there, get an absentee ballot. This is an extremely important election for New Jersey and for our municipality. And so please, vote. I'm going to close by allowing you to take a look at what the previous mayor looked like when she was the mayor. Enjoy the show. See you next time.
And I think you're making a mockery of this council by introducing them tonight.
I disagree
Every
with that.
meeting,
Can
I am speaking. Every meeting we come to do town business is compromised by this type of thing.
Mayor.
And I am speaking, and I am quite frankly tired of it. No one listen to me.
Council people.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. If this council moves to approve these tonight, I'll not sign them. And furthermore, I will allow 10 minutes for every member of the public who also wants to speak to this issue.
You're not in
Excuse me,
charge.
I don't believe in politicking from the dais.
I don't think you can extend the time to 10 minutes.
Yes, I can.
It has to go by motion under 57E.
Yes, I can.
6.
I'm the chair of the meeting.
Good evening. I'm here again tonight to continue our effort as Vote SOS.
Excuse me, Mr. Fury?
Yes?
I would like you to stick to general matters or matters of the agenda.
I would just like you to keep your comments in a general manner. Speak to anything you wish. Do not make it a commercial for
Well,
a campaign.
I'm going to tell you,
please.
then I won't talk what I'm going to say, but this will get out onto our website for people to hear.
That's fine.
Because you're not allowing me to speak tonight, which is extremely unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate that you will not let
I'm sorry,
me
I disagree.
educate the public.